Guys, let me introduce to you how innerHTML could be used to introduce a cross-site scripting attack into your web application. This is a bug common among inexperienced web developers, and I will also tell you how to prevent this bug in your web application. Let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is let's set up an empty div. Let's give the ID of simple to our div. Now we have an empty div right here where we're going to target to display whatever the user type into our text box, which we'll set up in a second. Then the next step is let's set up our input field. We have our input field. Let's give that an ID of name. I'm going to set autocomplete to off. Then let me set up my button, which user is going to click on when they are done typing into our text box. So let's have an on-click method attached to this guy. So let's give it an undo click function, which will create undo submit, which we are going to create in a jiffy. The next step we want to do is, so whenever user type into the text box and they click on this submit, whatever the user type into this form, we want to display it inside of this guy. So let's set up our script tag. So let me create a variable to get the value that the user typed into the text box. So let's give it, which is name dot value, will give us whatever the user typed into our text box. Now this is where the bug comes in. Inexperienced web developers most times do something like this. Dot get element by ID dot innerHTML equals to name. Now this name, this value here, could be coming from a database, could be coming from an API, could be coming from just about anywhere, but for the purpose of this tutorial I will just set up something very basic. So this is coming and we set up the innerHTML to this value. Let's see, no, this is supposed to be in our function. Let's quickly fix that. Let's give it a function and this submit. Now let's see how that looks like on the page. Let's type something and see how it looks like. Awesome. Now our text is coming up. Awesome. The text is coming up as expected. Now let's say somebody come and do something like this. Alert, hello world. Now what do you expect will happen? Now this won't work. Now this didn't trigger the alert, which is supposed to show it kind of a pop-up on the page. But an experienced website penetrator could do something like this, could set up a special XSS payload to trigger an alert. It looks something like this, equals to source equals to 1. Then whenever there's an error, JavaScript call this function, which is on error tag, could do something like JavaScript and then set up an alert to alert 1 on the page. Let's close this and let's close our image tag. Wow, that's it. Now the one is coming up on the page. Let's set this value to something else, something like let's say websites hacked. Now this website was hacked successfully just by using innerHTML over here. So how do you bypass or how do you fix this bug in your web app? A quick way to fix this is to use text content. By using text content, then whatever the user type into the text box will just come out as a plain text. Even if you type in any tag, will just come out as a plain text on the page. With this, you have to mitigate this attack to some level, although there are more extensive ways to fix this, by filtering out unnecessary inputs, by stripping out the HTML tags. But I'm sure this little demonstration gave you an idea on how this bug can be introduced and how you can bypass it and how you can fix it. Peace out. Thanks guys.